Buying gene banks, obviously you want to conserve this stuff in the field where it's being used by the farmers themselves. But if you want to breed varieties, if you want to produce new ones, you need to know what you've got. You need to have access to that material. You need to be able to send off and get material in the time you need it in order to be able to work on it scientifically.
It all begins with a seed. Established in 2004, the Crop Trust is dedicated to safeguarding global food security. Since our founding, we have provided vital financial support to gene banks worldwide, helping to maintain and protect diverse crop collections. This work is crucial in preventing the loss of unique and endangered varieties, to ensure breeders, researchers, and farmers have the resources to adapt crops to a changing world.
With generous support from our funders and partners, the Crop Trust has made great strides in conserving crop diversity and building resilient agriculture in the face of evolving challenges. The Crop Trust was founded as the first organization solely focused on conserving crop diversity in gene banks, with Jeffrey Houghton as the initial interim executive director. And the Crop Diversity Endowment Fund was created to provide long-term funding to key global gene bank collections, ensuring their preservation and continued availability for use. In 2005, Carrie Fowler was appointed executive director.
Biodiversity, particularly associated with agriculture, is really one of the most challenging and important issues of our time. If we don't do that, we won't be able to adapt to climate change. We won't be able to feed the world's increasing population. And therefore, all of the other issues that people hold near and dear to their hearts, from healthcare to environmental issues, will be all for naught.
In 2006, the Crop Trust signed its first long-term grant with the International Rice Research Institute. Many more followed. Such long-term partnerships guarantee permanent funding for essential gene bank operations. The latest, signed in 2023 with the Alliance of Biodiversity International and CIAT in Colombia, and with the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in Nigeria, secured globally significant collections of beans, forages, African maize, Bambara groundnut, African yam bean, and cowpeas. Since 2007, the Crop Trust has facilitated development of global crop conservation strategies by experts around the world. These strategies assess the status of crop collections and recommend ways to improve their conservation and use.
In 2008, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault was established by Norway's Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Nordgen, and the Crop Trust. Located on the remote Svalbard archipelago in the Arctic Circle, the vault serves as a global backup for the world's gene banks. As of 2024, the Global Seed Vault holds more than 1.3 million seed varieties originating from almost every country in the world.
You know, when we lose genetic material around the globe in the real world for reasons of war or natural disasters, it's just very, very comforting to know that we can retrieve the material here and start afresh.
The Crop Trust has done many different activities to protect crop diversity and help communities. We worked with the UN Foundation with funding from the Gates Foundation to rescue threatened collections in the world's gene banks because of inadequate regeneration and safety duplication. We launched Genesis in 2011 as the world's largest portal for accessing data on the world's gene bank collections, supporting researchers and breeders worldwide. The 10-year Crop Wild Relatives project also launched in 2011 to enable researchers, breeders, and farmers to protect the wild cousins of key food crops. Scientists from 25 countries collected seed samples of more than 350 species, preserving valuable diversity. Pre-breeding projects used Crop Wild Relatives to develop new, climate-adaptive crop varieties in collaboration with farmers.
Today, farmers are cultivating these varieties, such as salt-tolerant rice in Vietnam and disease-resistant potatoes in Peru, drought-tolerant wheat in Morocco, and frost-resistant alfalfa in Inner Mongolia. In 2012, the Crop Trust and CGIAR started a comprehensive collaboration to manage and sustain international crop collections. Then, in 2013, we moved our headquarters from Rome to Bonn, with Marie Hagar joining as Executive Director. From 2017 to 2021, the CGIAR Gene Bank platform provided technical and financial support to 11 international gene banks.
The Food Forever initiative launched in 2017 to raise awareness of efforts to achieve the UN SDG number 2, Zero Hunger. Working with innovative chefs to cook lesser-known ingredients highlights the role of crop diversity as a solution for food security.
In 2019, the Crop Trust kicked off Seeds for Resilience, a 5-year initiative funded by the German government. The project supports gene banks in 5 African countries: Nigeria, Zambia, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Ghana, helping them meet international standards and ensure the long-term conservation and availability of their collections. In 2020, Stefan Schmitz was appointed Executive Director of the Crop Trust.
In 2021, the Crop Trust launched the decade-long BOLD initiative, Biodiversity for Opportunities, Livelihoods, and Development. Funded by the Government of Norway, BOLD supports conservation and use of crop diversity around the world. The project strengthens the capacity of 15 national gene banks, duplicates unique crop collections for backup in the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, supports plant breeders in developing new, resilient varieties of 7 key food and forage crops, explores new models for gene bank engagement in seed systems, and enhances the conservation, production, and consumption of lesser-known opportunity crops in Africa. In 2023, the Crop Trust adopted its 2030 strategy, focused on empowering gene banks to provide solutions for global challenges.
Gene banks cannot fulfill their transformative potential by working in isolation. They must work towards a global gene bank partnership. We call on all gene banks to work more closely together. Many gene banks around the world are severely underfunded. To empower gene banks to contribute to and effect meaningful change in agri-food system, sufficiently guaranteed financial resources are crucial.
Crop diversity will always be needed for global food and nutrition security, so our work must continue. With climate change, our work is needed now more than ever. From 20 years ago to forever, together with our partners, the Crop Trust is securing the future of food.